I've been an Instagram strategist for the last 5.5 years, and in that time, as you probably would imagine, I have picked up a lot of lessons. I've learned a huge amount about Instagram, about when it's worth taking a risk on something, when it's worth jumping on a trend, when it isn't worth jumping on a trend. I've also been around to see many complaints over the last 5 years about the algorithm. That never changes. And I thought that I would create this video to share some of my biggest lessons learned over this half decade. Now, I filmed this video a couple of times, and each time it's been pretty long. So I thought that I would divide it into two, and I've actually categorized the lessons into 6 categories with 3 lessons for each. And those categories are content, selling, engaging, planning, trends, and well-being. So in this week's video, I'm going to start with the first 3, and then in next week's video, I'm going to follow up with the final 3. These are my juiciest lessons. I had to kind of spill them all out of my head onto paper and then really whittle them down into the ones that I thought were the most valuable for you, my audience. So I really hope you enjoy these lessons, and I hope actually they help you refocus your priorities, help inspire you and motivate you with the things to think about, and also show you that some of those other things, some of those other trends and pieces of advice and misinformation, you can just leave on the side. Just before I jump into the first set of lessons, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops to this channel every single Friday. And now, without further ado, let's get into the first set of lessons that relate to content. So lesson number 1 is you only need to post 3 times per week to see results on Instagram. What's more important is to be consistent with that, but 3 posts per week, whether it's a reel and 2 photos, a reel, a carousel, and a photo, whatever that looks like, 3 grid posts per week is perfect. That is going to set you up for long-term success. Don't fret about all the other advice online that says you must post every single day, you must post this, that, the other. It's not humanly possible for pretty much anyone to keep up with that kind of amount of content. I mean, unless you are a machine, or you have a machine, or you have a huge team around you, that just isn't feasible, and also it just isn't necessary. Some of the biggest brands that I started working with 5 years ago when I first started doing this job, they were posting 3 or 4 times a week, and they stayed doing that, and they have consistently grown over that time. So 3 times per week on the grid is perfect. If you're wondering how often to post Instagram stories, 4 times per week is perfect. The second content lesson is to remember people come to Instagram for a variety of reasons. So everyday civilians, your potential customers and clients, they don't come to Instagram just to purchase or just to discover products and services. That is one of the reasons why people use Instagram. That is a really compelling reason. But they also come to Instagram to learn, to laugh, and to be inspired. If you are marketing your business or even marketing yourself on Instagram, think about how you can cater to those different desires. So you don't just want to promote your offer, you also want to think, okay, how within the confines of our brand, how can we actually give more to our audience? How can we give some value to them in the form of humor or in the form of education or inspiration? If you can do this, you will really create strong bonds with your community, and you will strengthen the relationships you have with them, because you're not just coming to Instagram to broadcast and promote and sell. And lesson number 3 is that stories are one of the best ways to convert your followers into customers. Your grid content is a really important part of any strategy. It's a really important part of building trust and educating and informing. But your stories are so powerful at actually getting people off the fence and getting them to convert. And I'm going to talk more about how to use stories strategically, specifically stickers in stories, when we get to the engaging section of the lessons. So the second set of lessons are to do with selling. So the first lesson is aimed at my service-based businesses or my coaches and creatives and consultants. Don't forget and don't be fearful of telling your audience how they can work with you or buy from you at least once per week. In my experience, service-based businesses, often because it's them they are selling or working with them and using their service-based businesses, coaches, creatives, consultants are often quite reticent to quite bluntly tell their audience, hey, this is my program, this is my service, this is my offer, this is how you can work with me, this is my availability, this is who it's best for. If you don't tell your audience this information, they are not going to notice your invitation and take you up on it. You have to actively tell people every single week how they can work with you or buy from you. If you're a product-based business, the opposite information is true, because in my experience, most product-based businesses aren't too afraid to promote their products. And you can see why, because often it feels a bit easier to promote a product because there's some distance between us as the business owner and our product. However, promoting your products is great. But remember what I said earlier about remembering why people come to Instagram. They don't just come to Instagram to buy products. They also come for a variety of other reasons. They want to learn, laugh, and be inspired. So how can you, as a product-based business, cater to those different desires? How can you offer more value to your followers? Sit down and think about what matters to your target customer, what interests them, what are they looking for, what information or inspiration are they seeking, and how can you provide that with your content? And last but not least, a lesson for any kind of business owner or content creator on Instagram: share your reviews and your testimonials and your glowing feedback all the time. This is the best way to convince more people in your audience to actually part with their cash and buy your product or invest in your service, because seeing that somebody else made that move first shows them that parting with their money and making that big decision to purchase isn't so risky, because someone else did it before and they had a great experience, they had a great result. So share your testimonials all the time. And to round off part one of this two-parter, the third set of lessons relate to engaging. So lesson number one is about Instagram stories. Remember when I said that Instagram stories are a great way and the best way of converting your followers? The way to do that is to use Instagram stories stickers strategically. So the poll sticker, the question sticker, the quiz sticker, these are your little secret weapons, your little tools to start understanding who in your audience is interested in what you have to offer. Share content that relates to your product or your service. So if you're a service-based business, you might want to share a mini training, or if you are a product-based business, you might want to share a story about a product you're developing. Use stickers in both of these instances as a way to see who in your audience wants to get involved, who wants to help you choose the color, the style, the fabric of your next product, who in your audience wants to learn more about the area of expertise that you are really qualified in. You can use stickers, you can open up a story by saying literally, who wants to learn more about training A or training B today, or if it's a product-based business, who wants to help us decide the look of our next product? Use a poll sticker and start tracking those people who regularly interact with your stickers, who are regularly saying, yes, I want to learn about this training, or yes, I care about what your next product looks like, feels like. These are the people who are actively interested in what you have to sell. When they interact with your story stickers, you are not going to suddenly send them a cold pitch and say, woo, you interacted with my sticker, here is my new product, or do you want to buy? That isn't the point of the stickers. The point of the stickers is to start to see who in your audience is worth engaging with on a regular basis. The second lesson is to make engagement a priority. So if you can do some daily engagement, I really recommend that. But even if it's a weekly task you have in your diary to do 30 minutes, an hour, it's so important. And I'm not necessarily talking about going out and doing cold outreach using hashtags. I just mean be really intentional with the audience you already have. Engage with them. Go through the people that are regularly commenting on your posts and of course reply, but also go back onto their content, engage with their posts, watch their stories. Engagement is reciprocal, and the more you give engagement, the more you will get it back. And it's so valuable to engage with the people already in your audience because they have already said, I want to follow you, I am interested in you. It's so much easier to get to know those people and ultimately convert them further down the line than it is going out and trying to engage with people who are cold, who know nothing about you. So really do make engagement a part of your regular routine, whether that's daily or weekly. And last but not least, tracking your leads on Instagram is essential to effective, efficient, and consistent sales on Instagram. You could, of course, just use Instagram as a place to broadcast your content, but if you really want to get the most out of Instagram, remember that it is a really great place to facilitate community and facilitate relationships. So like I said with the Instagram story stickers, start to keep an active eye on who in your audience is actually engaging with you, who is actually interested in your products and services, the people who've downloaded a resource, the people who've asked for a discount code, the people who are always engaging on your story stickers that relate to your product or service. Those are the people that you want to start tracking, and you want to be deliberate and intentional with your engagement with those people. That kind of intentionality, that kind of process, that is what starts to generate more leads on a consistent basis. More leads and more conversions. That is all for part 1 of this video, which is all about the biggest lessons I've learned in the last 5 years as an Instagram strategist. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button if you haven't done already, so that you're alerted when the next part of this video goes live next week. I can't wait to see you there. And just before you go, so that I can give you a little bit more juicy info, don't forget that you can check out this video, which is all about some engagement tips, my best engagement tips to start warming up and converting more of your followers, and this video here, which is how to be more productive when you are marketing your business on Instagram. I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Thank you for watching. Bye.